I see. Welcome back to the world's finest assassin. Gets reincarnated in the world as an aristocrat. Anime Review Episode 8. Now, you're probably thinking, like, why are you doing one more video even though you just did another one? Well, there's a reason for that. Because I want to do this one because I didn't want to end the episode numbering on an odd number. That's a simple reason for it. This might make 8 seems like a bit low, but that's the best I can do. Alright? So, now I should point out though, here, at least 3 books this series have been released here. This one was adapted for this first season of the show. And you have 2 more books left to go. This here is book 2 for the series. Now, the first book is 300, I think it's like 90... This book here, first book, 295 pages. That's along the very first book for the series. The second book, this book has the same amount of chapters, 23, just like the first book does, but it's actually shorter. This book is 265 pages, roughly 30 pages shorter than the last book. But the third book, this book here, is the shortest book of so far the whole series. It's not that long. It is only just 202 pages. Now, if they do season 2, the season 2 will probably take up this book only. Excuse me. But what this one? For that one, you probably think there's the same amount of chapters as the previous 2 books. No, it has 21. It's actually 2 chapters shorter. As far as I can tell for the other 2 books per se, like book 2, yeah, that's basically based on the story they have there for season for the second book. That could take up the whole season. Nothing says it can't. Can't do it. Nope. But what about the third book per se? The third book, that could take up probably almost a whole season. You could do it. I mean, it's not that long of a book. I mean, look how thin this book is compared to... This is book 3 for the series. Book 3. This is book 2. And this is book 1. It's weird, though, starting, like... Apparently, books keep getting shorter and shorter. I have not read the 4th book yet. Purely for a very good reason. It has not been released yet. It's not been released here for at least for a couple months. Not until February. Now, there's a total of 6 books released. 6. 4 is coming out in a couple months. But what about 5 and 6? To date, no announcement on 5 and 6. Nope. We're thinking, that's a bit weird. Like, why is there an announcement for it? I mean, the 5th book came out in Japan like a year ago. The answer is, I don't have any idea. That is the simple gist of it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. The fact that it's like that. And I, of course, kind of wish that we have more books released here, but currently just... Let me take a look here, see, maybe... Well, there's technically no release date for it yet. Nope, there isn't. Not really. I kind of wish there was, but there isn't. In case you wondered about the manga for this series, yes, there is a manga for World's Finest Assassin. Yes, the problem is, so far, only just the very first book, first volume has been released here. I've read it. It's the best way to describe the manga per se for the series is that it's the first book, but it feels very rushed. Yes, the first book, it is rushed. Like, it keeps a lot of the stuff in from the book, but not entirely. There are technically 4 volumes released in Japan, but the first one has released, which I do own that. And the second volume, and this is quite strange, comes out in 3 months, like a year after the first one comes out. I don't really get why the heck Yen Press taking so freaking long with this one. Now you might be asking, Nick, are you going to do any reviews of light novels? Don't have immediate plans to do it all like some other series. Now, if you're curious to what's the plot of the following 2 books, book 2 is simply put basically the main character, Lou, going to school, what is to, like with Tarty, Dia, who is referred to as Claudia in this book, and Mahi, which basically is the first time that Dia has met Mahi in this book, though she does play a really big role in the book. And mostly put basically as their time at school, battling a demon, being here for the first time. The school gets destroyed, mostly gets suspension. Basically the school operation is suspended, of course, everyone goes home. And this kind of lays a little bit of groundwork for book 3 of the series, which is this very book right here. Which is just, excuse me, it's almost like basically this book is just, what if the main character went on vacation? Now, the second book is so good. Yes, in the fact that basically that apparently Lou is named the honor student. So him, our original character, pops in this book, and of course Dia and Tarty are basically, along with the hero, named the basically top 5 students. And Tarty and Dia live in the same, like, kind of like their own mini mansion on the campus grounds. While in the case, the other character, he lives off in a different building. Yes. And apparently the hero has her own room, per se. And it's revealed in the book that the hero is a woman. Yeah, apparently Lou finds out about the fact that the hero is a woman because it's suspected it's a guy, but in actuality it's a woman. And after and toward the end of the book, they actually have an actual battle. Yes, a battle. Yes, an actual battle where they battle a demon. And Lou actually helps the hero out defeating a demon. In the case of book 3, per se, you can almost say it's almost like, what if the assassin went on vacation with the 2 girls who love him? Now, Lou takes Dia to a love hotel, and you're probably thinking, does do dirty with her? They don't really say. He does do something with Tarty. What does he do with her? He gives her an actual kiss. Instead of, refilling her mana like they been doing for a while. They mentioned also in this book as well that he'd been doing that. So here, as a reward for helping out, basically, she asks for an actual kiss. Not to get mana, per se, an actual kiss. And she got it. Making her the second woman that Lou has ever kissed. Now, Maha has never kissed, he's never kissed her before yet, but yeah. But Tarty does respect Dia, not the fact that she is number one for that Dia is number one for. Okay, yeah, that Dia is number 1 for Lou, and Tarty is number 2. Maki like number 3. Yeah, he might basically expects that. It explains in the first book as well. Yep. But that's all my thoughts basically on the 2 books as a whole. They're just really fun. It just basically like I said, book 3 is basically the assassin was a vacation. But it's basically somewhat a very relaxing book, per se. Yeah, it feels very relaxing. Yeah. And I do recommend checking out these books, per se, along with the actual anime. I would mostly stick with the books themselves because the manga rushes to the first book, the very first volume of the manga book, per se. Yep. Excuse me. If you're curious how much the price of these books, they're all $15 a piece. That's how much you can find these at any like local Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, or you can find them on Amazon. That's the best ways I would recommend checking these books out. It's a book series that's actually pretty fun and interesting to get into. I mean, reading these books, basically, this is the type of book series that you just cannot put down. Because that's what it was with me with these books. I just couldn't put the books down because they were just so exciting to read. That's just my opinion, anyways. So yeah, basically went with basically expecting from a Falling Season to also a a review for my thoughts on books volumes 3 and 4. Well, I might review volume 4 when it comes out in 2 months. Yep. But in the case of videos wise, that's going to be pretty much it for today. Any videos coming tomorrow? Yes. Shaman King and maybe a comic corner, okay? Next video. Bye.